What's up, guys? This is Harv with Harv's Corner. Today we're going to go over a small mod review. So the reason why we're doing a smaller one is because the one that's going to come out the week following is going to be kind of big, and I need a lot of time to work on it. Along with a couple of build episodes and a couple of 101 things, and it's a big mod review, so I'm going to need a little bit of time. But this is one that I've been using for a little while now, that I have wanted to use for a long time but haven't gotten the opportunity to, and this is the upgrade bench. So we're actually here on a PvE server on the island playthrough, so I figured I'm using the model on this map, I might as well just load this up and do it from here. This is actually a 3-piece thing, and there's 2 different versions to the upgrade station. You can do like a primitive version like what you see, and then like a more modern version, which is what I'm going to drop in front of you. And you craft all of these on your person. It's 3 different pieces. So we're going to start with the first piece real quick. And that's just your general bench. Obviously this is a bit more modern look to it. It's this bench, this smithy, and like, where the anvil is with the saddle on it. That's that one section to it. The upgrade station is pretty straightforward. You throw items in here that you want to upgrade, and you attempt to upgrade them. So what I'm gonna do is just make something simple, just like a torch, just to kind of show you what I'm talking about. So I'm gonna throw this in here, and this works with anything that has a quality, that could potentially have a quality value. So you toss it in here. You can salvage items from here too. So you can break items down. You can break items down for resources to get some resources back. But primarily you're going to use the upgrade. So if you click on an item and click attempt upgrade, now if I don't have what it costs for me to do it, it's going to show up in the top center of the screen, but it's just a torch, so I have what's in here. So I just click on attempt upgrade, and it bumps it up to ramshackle. And you can keep doing this. Sometimes it'll pass, sometimes it'll fail, sometimes it'll even jump a level. Like sometimes it'll jump a quality level on you, and you can keep doing that. So I can go all the way up the list. Well, all right. So it says I need that's what I'm talking about. So I need 13 more flint to try to get it up to another level, but it's really the point. So you can take any item that you can normally craft or find or whatever and toss them in here, and you don't have to start off on primitive. You can throw an apprentice, whatever that you found from a drop, inside of this thing, and make it that way, and bump it up. I like this bench. This bench changes so much, because I don't know how many times, especially when you're lining up to fight a boss, or you're lining up to do a certain tames or to breed certain things, you can't get the saddles, right? It's a pain in the butt to find the high quality saddles. But now you don't have that problem, because you just make a regular version, throw it in here, and upgrade it up. Now you're thinking, well, that's only good for one saddle, and I have to keep doing that over and over again. Not necessarily, because what you can do is use this attachment to the back that's a blueprint station, and I'll display it here. So they just clip, right? It just clips to the back of it. And as you can see, it's a bit more modern on this side, obviously, and it looks really cool. It looks really cool. So if we open the station up, and I already did this earlier with a torch, just to kind of run through it. Okay, I just put these out in the middle of my base. I wanted to make sure everything worked real quick. So what you can do is just throw anything in here. So I'm going to throw the torch in here, and you just click on the item and you hit create blueprint, and it transfers it into a blueprint. So if you find that thing on the drop that you need 1,000 of, or whatever the case is, well, now you can just make them. So being able to turn anything into a blueprint, again, is another game changer as far as the gameplay goes. So there's good and bads to that, obviously, so at least from my perspective anyway. So if you're playing solo, I think this is amazing. I think it's perfect. If you're playing on a server, or if you're managing a server that doesn't use loot drops, this is a good alternative to not using loot drops, so you don't have to worry about building on where a loot drop is, or a loot drop landing in your base for 5 minutes, or you don't have to worry about people getting to the loot drops before you. It's not that race to the loot drops anymore. And even if you do have loot drops in here in your server and you're running this mod, I mean, it's tit for tat. You're gonna find things, right? You're still gonna find things that are gonna be in the drop, that it's just gonna be easier. You're not gonna have to craft it, and you're just gonna find it. But it's obviously, this goes without saying that the loot drops are a chance, right? You don't know what's gonna be in there. You don't know if it's gonna be good. You don't know if it's gonna be useful. Same thing with the cave drops. This is a guaranteed bet. You know you're getting what you want. So spend a bit more time, harvest resources to craft some things, or go gamble on the loot drop. So it just opens up another avenue. The only negative thing I would say about these is that it could potentially, and this is kind of niche, I guess, but niche, but whatever. You all know I can't talk. The only thing that I would be worried about is that if you're playing in an environment where, especially if you're managing a server, if you're playing on a server and you're trying to promote players interacting with each other. Let's say it's a PvE server and you're trying to promote maybe trade between tribes and people interacting with each other. Things like this could potentially be detrimental because now I don't have to. I don't need to reach out to that tribe that goes loot drop hunting all the time and might have the blueprint I need because I can just make it. So I mean that's the only really thing that I could really think to complain about. And even then, I feel like that's such a small. I feel like that's not normal. That's way out in left field. That might potentially happen 1 in a freaking million times. So I don't really think it's that. I don't really think it's valid of a complaint. It's really just a lot of times I might try really hard to find something wrong about a mod just to give you an honest review on it. But that's the only complaint I would have with something like this. And we're not even done yet. So we have the augment station. So the augment station, exactly what it says. It augments things. So you can create different reagents to apply them to armor and to weapons in order to give them better things. So you can do reagents for more durability or more weapon damage, more armor on your armor, more durability on your armor versus your weapons, better cold resistance, better heat resistance, preserving your water like the desert armor does in Scorched Earth, from Scorched Earth. There's so many different things that you can do in here. This specific add-on, I could see getting a little out of hand in like maybe in more of a PvP area where you have, whoever harvests the more resources is going to have the better stuff. But I mean, isn't that kind of the way it should be anyway, really? Whoever puts in the most work should have the best stuff. I mean, it's still not a whole lot to complain about. And anyway, this is pretty straightforward. And I'll throw something over here that we can try to augment it. No applicable reagents. What is going on here? Why is that not working? Oh, here we go. So we got to actually craft a reagent. That might help. All right, so you craft your oh man. All right, so we click on the actual pike now and we hit well, you know what, this is a damage reagent. I'm gonna put it on my shotgun. See if I can do that. We're gonna do this. We're gonna hit augment item, and we did. Damages up to 5. Oh, this is gonna be a cannon. All right, so that might be a little extreme. That's the first time I've ever actually like augmented something and paid attention to it. That was rather nuts. So that shotgun's kind of crazy. I'm gonna hold that for oh shit situations for sure. You can definitely beef your armor and weapons up a bit more. And what I think there were 2 things in mind with this mod. I think one was not having to rely on loot drops to get the stuff that you truly want to do, and you still have to work for it. So it's not like you're just getting it handed to you. And I think the other idea behind this mod was to be able to scale the difficulty higher than normal. Most servers, or at least most of the ones that I play on, the level cap is for dinos is 150. I could see myself raising that considerably higher if I knew that I could make weapons and armor that could go toe-to-toe with those things. I see that as a balancer, really. At least I think that's what was in mind when it was created. So we're going to have a link to the mod on the Steam Workshop for these guys. And also, one last thing, there's actually a manual that you can craft on your person. It's like 8 thatch to craft on your person. It opens up a cool little book mimicking the dossier of your journal and just explains to you exactly what I kind of went through. It's pretty self-explanatory, but there's a couple things to note. Just like it says under the upgrade station section down to the notes, it says upgrades will sometimes skip a level and upgrades aren't always successful. Sometimes it'll fail out. And then in the blueprint station, you also want to pay attention that the item's always consumed, so you're not going to duplicate it and turn it into that's not how it's going to work. And that some resources will be salvaged. Like when you turn it into a blueprint, it will give you some resources back, but not a huge amount, at least. And not with my experience, it hasn't been a huge amount. And then in the note section of the augment station, it does mention what things are normally used for what, so that if you're out and about, you can pull this book out and go, oh, I need this before I go back to my base to craft or whatever. So I mean, it's pretty useful. I think the mod's well done. I think it's tidy. I think it's clean. I haven't had any problems with it yet at all. It's been pretty awesome. And yeah, so that's it. The upgrade station, the blueprint station, the augment station, and like I said, they all snap together pretty well. Pretty quick and simple. So that's the upgrade station for just about anything with a durability. So your weapons, your armor, your saddles. If you like what you saw, please throw me a like, please throw me a comment, subscribe. New visitor, please subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so that you can see the new videos that are coming out. I'm trying to get a schedule down, and I think I'm actually getting to that point. We're going to try to do like mod reviews on Mondays, probably the ARC 101s we're going to start throwing out on Wednesdays. And then during the weekend is when we'll start putting out the speed builds, and then also doing some live streaming as well. But anyway, that's it. If there's another mod that that you particularly want to see a review done on, well, please put it in the comments, and we'll try to address it. We'll try to look over it, try to play with it. Then, like I said, I need a lot of time for this next one though. It's a big mod. Hint, hint. We might have had somebody in the community comment on one of our other mod reviews asking about this one. So we started to work on it. It's one that I'm excited for, and that's going to be next Monday. We're going to try to drop that one on you. But that's it for now, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching. Take care, and until next time.